The Birthday Call by Benjamin Peel, 2020. Hello, dear. Yes, I can see you all right, Dennis. Can you see me? Good. Well, it is a shame you couldn't be here for my birthday, but it can't be helped. Yes, you have got a good excuse for it this year. No, I won't starve, and the neighbours have been ever so kind, as they did a shop for me, so I've got plenty of food in. I don't need much. Your grandma had lots of stories about how life was in Skegness during the war, but you won't want to listen to all those, will you? Do you? She said she was always hungry from the rationing, but there was always fish and chips, and living in Lincolnshire meant there was a good supply of vegetables. No, it's not like now with all the panic buying. You would think there was a war on with what they're doing. It's totally selfish. Then there was a time your gran was in the cinema, when the whole building rocked from a bomb. The Germans would often drop any they still had on the coastal towns as they made their way back home. No, they didn't have all this TV to watch back then. I prefer listening to the radio, just like your gran did. No, the library's closed now, but I've still got a few books. Yes, I can still remember how to download them onto the tablet. I've got plenty of things to keep me going, so I'm not lonely. I've been on my own for long enough, as was your gran's mum after the war finished. Yes, it is terrible what is happening now and all the lives being lost, but we've not had to face something like this as a country for a very long time. Tell me to shut up if you're fed up of me going on about your gran and the war. I used to love her stories, and we seem to have lost the knack of listening to each other. What else? Oh, well, there's the time she said she went to fetch her brother home as he was playing football with some of his friends. They heard a low-flying plane and stopped and stared, as if mesmerised by it. She said it was obviously an enemy plane, as they could see the black crosses and even the front gunner. And then a bomb dropped out. Yes, it does sound awful. But next they heard machine gun fire coming towards them, so they ran for their lives towards a small ditch by a hedge at the side of the field. What's that? I know you can't compare then and now, but that generation were much more stoical and got on with life as best they could, despite worrying about their menfolk away at war. They did what the government told them to without fuss or bother, as they trusted them and knew it was all to try and save lives and for the greater good of everyone. Times were certainly different then. It doesn't matter who the politicians are or which party's in power. People today just don't seem to like being told what to do. We've all gone soft. The Blitz spirit has evaporated. Yeah, I know I sound like a grumpy old man, but that's how I feel. What's happening now is awful. And it's not as if we are asked to make that much of a sacrifice by keeping our distance from people or isolating ourselves if we've got it. Butlins is closed now as well. We used to love our day visits there, and your boys did too. They closed it in the war and turned it into HMS Royal Arthur. And the beach became off limits, your gran said. She said she would cycle with friends to Gibraltar Point to watch them with the artillery until they told them to go away. We have been on the news as it hasn't stopped people coming here to the coast. They all seem to think that because they're not working, it's one big holiday for everyone. It's very selfish, as they don't realise the strain it could put on local hospitals, and some businesses have been open. I don't know what else I can tell you. Oh yes, your gran said they had some evacuees in Skegness. One girl who ended up in her primary school class was from the East End of London, so coming here was a complete shock to her. Your gran said it was hard for them to fit in, but she took pity on her and was really upset when she eventually went back. They had some foreign refugee children too, including a Dutch girl, but she never said to your gran why she had to leave and what had happened to her parents. I guess they were probably Jewish. What's that? Oh yeah, I know I've moaned before about the amount of people from Eastern Europe who came here, but then I don't like the town in summer when it's full of tourists. I like my space, and that's why I've always been happy in my own company, so you don't have to worry about me. Maybe what's happening now will teach us that we have to be more mindful of others and not be so selfish. I'd like to think so anyway. Your gran said they became used to seeing lots of our bombers crossing the coast at night. But then, in June 1944, the sky was full of them, endlessly going over, it seemed. It was the beginning of the D-Day landings and the end of Hitler and the Nazis. Every bad thing that happens has its D-Day, and this will too. Why can't I compare a disease to the Nazis? It's an invasion that's doing its best to destroy us and our way of life, but it won't. Look at how people tried to make this country a better place after the war ended. We just have to tap into that spirit that we've lost again. I know, you think I sound like a foolish, sentimental old man. What, you agree with me? Well, let's hope others think the same and realise that we are all connected not just in this country, but all around the world. No, I haven't changed my tune. Well, maybe I have, but I have plenty of time to think these days. Your gran was always someone who wanted to make things better. She was in a production of An Inspector Calls. I thought I'd told you about that before. No? Well, it was only an amateur one, but I can still remember the inspector's final speech about us all being responsible for each other. But if we don't heed that, then we'll be taught it in fire, blood, and anguish. Well, it's been lovely to have this long chat with you, but I'll let you get off, as I know you've got lots to do. Goodbye, and I will take care. I love you too. Oh, who's that calling now? Hello, dear? Yes, I can hear and see you now, Dennis. Can you see me? Good. Well, it is a shame you couldn't be here for my birthday, but it can't be helped. You've got a good excuse for it this year, though, no, it's all right if you can't stay on for long. I know you've got lots to do.